Our brands are such a visual thing that the photography we use for them is really important. This is true no matter what style of photography you're using. So I'm a brand photographer. I obviously have a ton of photography I can use in my social media, on my website, anywhere. But that doesn't mean that I don't still use iPhone photography and stock photography. They both serve a purpose and they can really help us expand the view of our brands. So I'm going to show you today how I utilize all three types of photography in my Instagram feed, and then give you some tips about how you can orchestrate this in other areas of your business too. So let's take a look at Later. Later is a program I use to schedule out all of my posts. It also allows you to do a preview so that you can see what your posts are going to look like in your feed. Here we'll see all of the posts that are already published, but I'm going to go ahead and add more photos. I took the photos of the last 6 posts. So because I've already done a lot of my own brand photography of professional photography, I want to include maybe a stock image here. So let's go ahead and throw in this one with coffee. Then I can talk about my work day or what's going on behind the scenes. And then I want to get focused on other businesses. So I'm going to look through all of my photos. I create a large photo library in Later, which is filled with all of the types of photos, professional photos, stock photos, and iPhone photography, so that I can have all my images in one place and they're really easy to find, sort, and then throw up into a post. So I'm going to use this post that I took in a local Denver shop. So now I've got a professional photo here, a stock photo here, and an iPhoto here. Then I'm going to continue just to go ahead and pull images and put them into my feed and see how they look, rearrange things, get a feel for it. I know what I like my feed to look like visually, so I kind of stick to those rules where I like to have pops of color. I like really deep, dark photos. It has to be really high quality and very crisp. So there's a lot of sharpness to my photos. And that's going to be the key when you're choosing your stock photos and editing your iPhone photos. You need to have brand guidelines that match your photography to make sure the photos you're using are on brand. So this becomes true when I look at these stock photos that I have here, and I'm part of a stock photography program. So I get access to all of these, and most of the photos don't actually fit my brand, at least not the ones that come in the monthly subscription. I pull out the photos that have darker colors to them, that they aren't all quite as white. They also are photos that I don't necessarily have the ability to take myself. For instance, photos of like the office, because I only have one desk and one computer, and it doesn't even photograph that well just because it's a little bit busy. So I focus on those photos, but you'll also see photos like this that have that pop of teal that I'm known for, or photos down here like this, which is a deep, moody office. Those are super on brand for me. So these styled stock photography, I might use more often, but photos that are super light and bright like this, I would use very sparingly because it doesn't match my brand. These same kind of rules apply to your iPhone photography. When you're choosing photos from your iPhone, you should edit with a filter that you then use on all of your photos that you take on your iPhone. However you choose to do it, all you want is a cohesive feel. So figure out what is it that makes your photos match your brand, and how do you recreate that in stock photos and iPhone photos. My number one suggestion when it comes to your feed is that at least 60% of your photos should be professional. My top suggestion is that you should use 60% of your photos as professional photography. Professionals are going to be able to give you the highest quality imagery, which will showcase your brand as more than just a startup. But it's also going to make sure that your product or services are front and center, whereas stock photos are not going to highlight your brand at all, and iPhone photos kind of go in the in-between, but are most often the lowest quality. So 60% should be professional quality photos, and the other 40% can be divided up between stock photography and iPhone photography. These same rules apply to your website and other marketing materials. Use stock photos and iPhone photos as well as professional photos throughout your website or print materials, any other places that you're marketing your business. But again, remember that more emphasis should be on the professional photos because they're going to be the highest quality and really highlight your brand in the most significant way.